What's going on YouTube, Excellence here, bringing you guys another video back up here onto the channel. This time what I got for you guys is that long awaited new controller settings that you guys need to try out here in Warzone Season 6. If you guys do go on to enjoy the video, and if you guys are brand new, make sure you guys tap the like button and also subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on so you guys don't miss any uploads. Just hit 13,000 today actually, and that's actually pretty cool to say. Thank you guys so much for that. That was the goal before Cold War. So now we're really just full speed ahead right into Cold War, man. I'm super excited. I think it's like 6 days away now. So tap that like button if you guys are excited for Cold War. Also let me know your plans and thoughts about the game down in the comments down below, because I am interested to see what you guys are thinking about it. I've said I was going to do a settings video for like the longest time now, and I just never have gotten around to it. And it has changed a little bit since the last time I've made this video. I bumped up a couple sensitivities and stuff like that. So you guys are going to see that here in just a second. I will cover some PC aspects of it and some like just controller aspects, but it's just because I want to be able to kind of like hit everybody here with the settings. I do play controller on PC, but there is certain settings on PC that allow it to be like a little bit more smoother and a little better. It kind of sucks for console, but what are you really going to do about it? Honestly, I don't think they're going to change it, so just gonna have to make do with what you got. Before we hop right into anything, follow me on all my social medias linked in the description below. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. I'm live streaming tonight on Twitch, man. First live stream ever on Twitch that you guys are going to be seeing. I'm just going to be testing out some settings and stuff like that. So if you guys want to help me up, get everything set up perfectly, the link will be in the description below. I should be streaming tonight around like 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern. So put that in your calendars and just vibe out with me later, man. But yeah, Discord will also be linked in the description below too if you guys want to join that, talk with the other people in there. I think we have around 60 people in there right now. So if you guys want to be before the first 100 people, man, join the Discord. But yeah, I don't want to waste too much more time. We're going to hop right into the settings here. Starting it off here, this is the PC aspect. People on console won't see this stuff, but this is why I don't have any recoil on my guns. Everyone's like, you're using a Cronus, you're using a Cronus. It's simply just a field of view set to 120 and then affected FOV. You guys have seen me talk about this multiple times now, and you guys might not even know what it is. So affected FOV just zooms it out a lot more when you're aiming down sights, especially with the iron sights or a low zoom optic. So it visually looks like the gun has a lot less recoil than it actually does, and it's just so much easier to like kind of hit your targets and control the recoil even at that with this setting on. Now for Cold War, I don't think this is a default setting. I think this is just a PC setting. You're going to be able to change it to 120 FOV in Cold War, but I think it's going to stay on independent. I'm not too sure about that. Off my memory, when I played on console for the beta, I believe that's what it was. So if you guys want to have this setting, I think you're going to have to switch to PC. It's not mandatory. Once you get used to 120 FOV with the independent setting, you should be able to like do just as well as your old settings. But I had to add this in the video just in case you guys were curious about it, and I kind of just want to explain myself because I do see, even to this day, a ton of comments asking, oh, you have a Cronus, blah blah blah, all this garbage. People just don't watch all the videos, and I can't blame them for that. There's a lot of new people coming to the channel every day, so they might miss it one time or another. So I just got to throw this one in there, kind of make sure that you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from. My audio settings are just right here on screen. I use boost high, master volumes turned down quite a bit just because this game is severely loud on PC. My ears are bleeding half the time that I'm playing this game, so I had to turn the master volume down. I also have a preset on my Astros that allows me to like amplify some different aspects of the game, which is why I've gotten a couple comments recently asking for my preset of my Astros. If you guys are interested in that, I'll kind of like link it in the description below. I didn't think it was that important. I just downloaded it off some guy, but it does actually allow you to hear targets and footsteps a lot easier. So if you guys are interested in that, link in the description for that, or the video that I watched, that is. Alright, and I didn't want to waste too much time, so we're going to get right into the bread and butter. Probably the reason why you guys have all clicked on this video. The controller settings, you guys are going to see there's a little bit different maybe from your settings, or it could be the same. I play on tactical flipped just because I've gotten used to it. I'm used to the R3 crouch and the R3 slide and stuff. It's just much easier in my opinion to switch to this. But if you guys aren't comfortable with this, I'm not saying that switching to this is going to make you 10 times of a player, but it could help out in certain aspects of your game. My stick layout, I left it on default. Inverted look, I also left that on disabled. My dead zone is set to 0.01. Now I've gotten a new scuff controller. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of connected to my PC, but I've gotten a new one, and it doesn't have any stick drift anymore, so I could probably edit this to maybe make it even lower. But I'm just going to leave it like that for now just because I'm used to it. My shot's pretty good with it on, so I'm leaving it at 0.01. I think the default is 0.02, but I'm not too sure about that. Horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity is set to 12 both ways. It used to be 7.7, but I thought I wanted to try and kind of play 2020. I've seen a lot of streamers like Mutex as being one of them playing 2020, and I wanted to try it out, but then when I did try it out, it was like super fast, and I wasn't really ready for that yet. So I did bump it up a little bit from 7. Obviously 12 is a little bit higher than 7, but I think this is like that good mid-ground, mid-range, the happy medium that I seem to talk about a lot on this channel for settings. You know, like it's not super high, but it's not super slow either. This also does matter with your FOV. So if you're playing 1212 console, it might be a little too quick for you, and I totally understand that because it's just a different setting. But if you're playing on console and you want to like kind of match my settings, turn it back down to 7 or 8. It should just be fine. Having a higher sensitivity is also not always better. Some people kind of mix that up a little bit just because you might see your favorite streamer playing on like 2020, like Mutex, right? Doesn't mean 2020 is going to work for you. Having a lower sensitivity generally makes it easier to hit your targets more. So if you guys are struggling with hitting your targets or staying on target, definitely lower your sensitivity. It could help out a lot. I have my low zoom and my high zoom. I have it set to 1.05 and 1.25 for the high zoom. I just like to be able to swipe left and right a little faster when I'm using those high zoom optics like the VLK. And your low zoom is going to have to deal with your iron sights and stuff like that. Again, I like to have it just a little faster than the default, and I think I have it on 1.05 because I remember watching Korean back in like season 1 or something like that, and he had it on 0.105. So I just thought, you know what, let me try it, and I haven't really changed it since. So all right, my aim response curve type, I have it set to dynamic. I honestly do not know the difference between standard and all linear and all that stuff. I used to play linear, but I think I watched a video, I think it was Attach, the pro Call of Duty player that is. I saw him and a lot of other pros using dynamic, so I changed to it, and it just made my movement and my shot so much better. I get a lot of comments asking why I am playing dynamic sometimes. It's just my personal preference, man, and that's what settings is. My settings aren't going to be 100% the best settings in the game. They aren't going to make you guys better players immediately as soon as you change to them. This is kind of just like a kind of template of what I use and what you guys can maybe mimic certain aspects of your settings to kind of like min-max your loadouts and all that stuff and make your game just a little bit better. By all means, if they don't work for you though, man, don't use them. I don't want to have you guys getting used to new settings and then you guys just like getting pissed off at the game because you guys will just not have a good time. So honestly, if you guys are happy with your settings, just stay with them, man. Especially your horizontal and your vertical stick sensitivities. Those are probably the most important ones. Don't change those if you guys aren't comfortable with it. Controller vibration is disabled. I have rumble packs out in my scuff anyways, just to make my controller lighter, but I never play with vibration anyways. I feel like it just makes my shot a little bit more inconsistent. My aim assist is on standard. My scale aim assist with FOV is enabled since I do play at the max FOV. I want to be able to scale it to that max FOV rather than just playing on the 80 default that you guys would play on console. You guys won't see this on PS4 and Xbox One. This setting will be irrelevant, so just kind of ignore this. My weapon mount activation, I think that's the default, to be honest with you. Everything down here is default, and here's where it kind of gets a little different. Use and reload behavior. If you guys haven't switched already, definitely switch to contextual tap. It just allows you to one tap weapons off the ground. I know a lot of newer players or a lot of maybe less skilled players tend to just like use this one or tap to reload, kind of whatever the default is on the setting here. But I think contextual tap is probably that next step that you guys should make, improve your game style or your game sense or your movement in general. It does help, trust me. So turn this setting on if you guys maybe don't already use it. Alright, I'm kind of just realizing this now. I don't know if this is a PC only setting. You can get this on console, I do know. If it's not showing up in your controller settings here, which makes me believe that it might be on console. Armor plate behavior apply all. It means when you tap your triangle or your back paddle for triangle, it's going to apply all your armor plates in just one tap, so you're not going to have to hold the thing. You can just tap it and it'll apply it all. I think this was a PC only setting for the longest time, and it was actually over here in the keyboard and mouse settings when it went down to here. See, it's in apply all right here, the behaviors. So if it's not in your controller settings right here, it might be on console. I honestly don't know since I don't play on console. But if it's not there, plug a keyboard into your PS4 or your Xbox and then go and change it in your keyboard and mouse settings. It's under the kill streaks and vehicles. Just change it to apply all. It actually does help in certain situations. And once you get used to it, it's actually a little better. Alright, slide behavior is on tap. I've said this a bunch of times. It allows you to slide cancel much easier. If you guys don't know what slide canceling is, when you slide, you just cancel the slide by hitting jump or double tapping the right thumbstick if you guys are playing with tactical. It allows you to bring up your gun a lot quicker and win those gunfights a lot easier. A lot of the pros, if you guys guys have been keeping up with the scene over the year, a lot of the pros do this, and it's kind of like that broken movement in this game, and it's not going anywhere either, since the Warzone engine is kind of staying the same for Cold War. You're gonna have to kind of get used to tap sliding or slide canceling. Auto move forward, I keep that disabled. Same with automatic sprint, I don't really use those. I probably should change it to automatic tack sprint to save my left thumbstick a little more, but I honestly am used to it. I just keep it on disabled, just because when you're using those shotguns, if you're not strafing, then it will kind of mess up your shooting and stuff like that. So honestly, if you're not used to it, just keep it disabled. Vehicle camera recenter, I think this is default. I left it on enabled. If it's not default, then I don't know, that's my bad. But here's where I really wanted to talk a little bit about parachute auto deploy. I've never talked about this before in these other videos, but I've actually changed this to disabled. And you're gonna be like, why have you changed it to disabled? That is, now if you time it perfectly, you can be the first one to drop and get the guns on Superstore, right? So you're going to see me dive a lot of the times in my videos. I dive and I land loading dock Superstore, and I pull my parachute literally at the last second, just so I'm kind of mitigating that time where you're floating in the air for someone to drop down and kind of enter and get the guns before me. You guys might see a lot of streamers and see, how do they land so fast? Like, how are they getting the guns before me? How are people landing before me? It's because I have the auto deploy turned off, and they have the auto deploy turned off too. So it's not going to automatically pull their parachute once they reach that certain level where you have to cut your chute and then re-dive again. Just a little tip if you guys haven't noticed that. I know I really kind of ignored it for the longest time, but once I did switch and got used to it, it was actually much better. But yeah, man, that's just going to do it for the settings video today. Hope you guys did enjoy. I've been kind of daily uploading these past couple of days, and it's been absolutely crazy for the channel, so I'm going to try and keep it going as long as I can, especially with Cold War. Once Cold War drops, daily uploads for quite a while, man. But this last week or so of Warzone might be daily, might be every other day. I don't really know yet, especially if I'm streaming more now. Who knows? Yeah, man, stream link will be in the description. I'm streaming there later tonight, like I said earlier in this video. If you guys did make it to the end, I do appreciate you guys so much for this. It's been excellent. I'll catch you in the next video, boys. Take it easy.